Nothing's on, man.
Shut up, man. How you feeling?
Mm. I've been better, but I'm Gucci. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm trying to share this to another page real quick. I'm going on with my thing. This Facebook ain't been cooperating too good lately, you know.
Um, StreamYard or Facebook?
Facebook.
Um,
It been. It could be my computer too. Sometimes this boy be acting. I was just talking to him. I need to get a new one, you know. So
you said it out loud. I heard you. Oh, you want to get rid of
right.
it?
Look at that. Oh, look who here early. Oh boy, I don't know that because you won't hear now. She don't never speak this early. She'll see it and get up out of here
Yeah.
quick.
What up, Tammy?
Never speak this early, boy. Hey, Miss Johnson, how you doing?
Hey, Miss Johnson.
Miss Johnson. She got a birthday coming up. What's the day? Her birthday is like in 3 days or something.
It's the 4th?
I think it's the 4th.
Probably shouldn't have said that out loud. It's the 6th. How you know what I sounded like last week? I don't remember you being in here.
Last week? No, she came in because she was she said something about you. Well, she came in toward the end, I think.
Thank you. I
think
appreciate
so,
it.
yeah.
I thought she was shadow watching us.
She might have been too on that, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's the 3rd. My bad. It's the 3rd. I was close. I was real close, you know. So let's go on through. How was your week, Jay? Oh, just to let y'all know, I do not know where Nicole is. So before y'all ask, is she sick or whatever, I do not know. I have not talked to my sister. I might have to make a trip down to wherever she had to see, because you know what I'm saying.
So do we need a call?
This ain't like her. You know what I'm saying? Okay, maybe I go ahead. You tell how your week is. I'm gonna try to make a little quick call to see.
How about I call? Because your week always more eventful than mine.
My week is actually I don't say my week was good. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got I might actually be hiring like a ton of people. I got like 4 or 5 other sites that we got to start up almost at once. So with that, I put out a feeler saying that I might need some that I needed some employees. My phone been blowing off the hook.
Okay.
But with that, I was like, I'm gonna get fussed at because I still didn't do that handbook.
How soon do you need to start?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. What'd you say?
Hey, I'm sorry, I was asleep.
She was asleep, everybody.
This one.
Listen. I got stuck. I didn't get home from work.
She didn't get home from work till 10 o'clock this morning.
You had to work my second job.
Yeah. She tired. She gets fatigued.
Oh, Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? I was just thinking people was asking where you was at. I didn't know, so I was telling them. So I wasn't gonna call. Then Jay said, "You usually get in a little late. Let her." See, your brother said, "Let her rest. She tired." Yeah, she said she on her way. People, she on her way. So, I mean, she usually check in like right before we get on, so that's why I did not call everybody. I'm sorry. I apologize. We're gonna get into no serious talk from there. Yeah, she's fucking fatigued. You know what I'm saying? She's fucking fatigued. The best of us get fatigued, and she's fucking fatigued. So with that, like I was saying, my week is good. Only thing that's slowing me down is with football. I've been trying to open up our registration to get us going, and the new site is giving me the flux with getting everything onboarded and ported over, and because we got to get in our cheerleading prices, football prices. And what happened to us is since our older site, when they shut down and switched over to the new platform, since we weren't into the new platform already, all of my old information is gone.
Damn.
Right. So I'm trying to get them to get my own. So like all of the emails and stuff that I had to send out to my parents, I have none of that. So like if I go live with this site, I'm just going live with a site with nothing in it, which is not as bad, but it's like I got to go back to like grassroots, and I got to go make sure our Facebook is on point. our Instagram to let people know that we open it and go to registration. I got to get our flyer game back up, signs and stuff that we should be doing anyway. Basically promotion and marketing. So it's not horrible. It's just, I had got a little bit complacent because it was easier just to click a button, send an email to 3,000 people, and I'm Gooch, So, look at that. She jumped in there quick too.
Oh shit! Get out of here.
Y'all could have called me before now.
I hardly ever call. You know what I'm saying? You usually pop in like a minute right before we get in it.
Why you lying? I do not pop in.
Like we be right at the show, getting ready to start. You would jump in there. You know what I'm saying?
He's telling the fib, guys. I do not.
So, we know how your week went, right?
But I'm sorry, y'all. But I had set my alarm, and I was like, okay, 8:15. Then I was like, okay, 8:20. And then I think they planned this. Instead of calling me before saying, okay, hey, it's close to starting time. Let's make sure she's fine. Let's call her on air.
That was not planned.
Honestly, was not even a fan of calling you on air.
I'm telling you, what just happened was we were doing our introduction. I was letting Jay say his week, and I had to let everybody know, hey, before we get started, y'all start asking, I don't know where Nicole is. I don't know. She's sick, so I don't want y'all asking what happened to Nicole. And Jay was like, well, maybe we should call her. You know what I'm saying? Because he sounded a little concerned with me saying, I don't know where you were. So I said, okay, well, let me call.
But I apologize.
Okay. Do you want to even try to say how your week was? You can just say long.
It was very long.
Okay.
Very
Jay,
long.
what you looking at? You good over there?
Yeah. Nah. I was checking my emails. No, I had an awakening this week. Not so much an awakening. I'll say I had more of a push to get me jump started. Well, not jump started, but keep me motivated into going into business for myself. So I would say that I had an eventful week. I feel better. I still have like a couple of body aches from my illness. I'm good now, though. I'm good. I had a eye opening experience, and I really realized that working for somebody else is not for me.
What would make you realize something like that?
I think once you realize that when you work for somebody else, one, you're never going to be on your own time. Nobody is ever going to. They tell you when you work, specifically in corporate America, that you'll have, for lack of better words, they'll tell you that you're on a team. And the word team doesn't mean the same thing to everybody. So there are things that you would believe that your team would help pick you up in when you're out, but sometimes shit don't work like that. So I've learned that I'm a better individual worker than a team player in certain instances. So I just need to kind of keep trending towards what I'm going towards now.
Okay, all right. Do you concur, Nicole?
I always hated group anything. In school, like when I was in college, group projects, I hated it because I wound up doing a whole project. Or you got some stupids that's like, you in college?
Well, speaking of stupids, I did like the Awakenings also. Even though it was low budget, the Awakenings was shit.
It was the storylines, just like Sisters, Tyler Perry Sisters. The acting is horrible, but the storyline is interesting.
Never saw it.
It's good.
I never watched it. I watched some clips of that other one. I think it's a spinoff from it. It got the dude in it who him and his wife was doing.
Zach and Fatima. Zatima. It's called Zatima.
He's a teamer. There you go. Team together, everyone achieves more.
In some instances, that is 100% accurate.
Wow, who
In
put
most
that?
instances,
I
it's
knew
very
that was. I knew that was.
That's an army.
On
That's an
there.
army thing there. So, big story of the week is what's his name? Tyree Nichols. Is that the young man's name?
Yep.
Tyree Nichols is the big story of the week. I have had multiple conversations about the incident, all sides of it, from arguments about that it shouldn't be about race to the rumor that it was about one of the guy's wives. So,
You know, I saw something that was like I didn't think about it before, right?
okay.
Which is still race, you know. I've always felt like it was a police issue, right? Whether it's black or white police officers. It always, to me, seemed like even if it was a black police officer and a white police officer, it seemed like the black officer always had to prove a point. You know what I mean? Well, I'm not, yeah, I'm your brother, but I'm not gonna let you slide. I don't know. And then the white officer be nice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the female officer thing, But I don't know if y'all seen the video. I didn't look at it like this. Okay, yes, police, they were wrong. Boom, right? But this guy, I don't know his name, he was saying how, yes, they arrested these guys, but it was really fast. It's 5 black
I've
guys.
been saying that. That's the argument that I had about whether it should or it shouldn't be race. Because the thing I was trying to
And the
get
white
through,
dude, they ain't even showing him that finally got arrested with the taser. He ain't even included. I
Yeah.
had no idea who he was. Still don't.
what's going on, Miss Kelly? No, I have not seen You People as of yet, even though Eddie Murphy's my favorite actor. I just haven't had a chance to check it out. I think everybody else has, but
It's pretty good.
I'm gonna check it out.
Is it on Netflix or something?
Yes,
See,
on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we had that conversation. Of course, like I think I didn't talk about it so much when my fire has kind of died down a little bit, because like when I first heard about it, you know what I'm saying? Because I think I was sitting somewhere hearing it, and it was on the TV, but I was hearing it. I was kind of cold hearted. It was like, okay, they did it again. Yeah, I felt sorry for the young man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, it's gonna be some more marching, and I'm looking at the screen. Then when they showed the cops, and I saw it was 5 black cops, I was instantly upset. I wanted to fight every one of the cops. You know what I'm saying? I was just pissed off about it. And then how fast they were taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Made me feel a different way also. And you can't catch 22, because yeah, you want swift action for it. You know what I'm saying? For it to happen. You know what I'm saying? You don't want them to be kind of, you trying to protect them and act like they didn't do nothing wrong when you see that. But then in the same sense, you think, oh, y'all doing that because they black. Because if they weren't black, guess what? They'd have got suspended. It'd have been an investigation, a bunch of other stuff. But they getting rid of a bunch of people now. Because they fired like the EMTs that showed up.
Mm-hmm.
They got terminated because they said they didn't do enough.
Well, they said they didn't. What they didn't do was report what happened or how it happened.
They said one of them got fired because she just sat in the car when they pulled her. She never even got out the car.
it's a whole shit show, man. It's a whole shit.
And were they all black? The EMTs?
No, it was one white guy and 2 blacks. The commander or the chief or whoever, the higher ranking, it was a female, black female. She's the one who stayed in the car, and then the 2 other ones got out. I haven't seen any type of support for those officers, Miss Kelly. She asked if we saw any Blue Lives Matter things or GoFundMe campaigns for them. Nothing. They really just kind of what I was saying when this conversation the other day, because what happened was me and my younger brother were talking, and his take on it was that this shouldn't be a race thing. This should be more so a conversation to have police reform. And I agree that police reform in some fashion should be a mainstay in this conversation. But at the same time, I think we have to still look at it as a race issue also. with the fact, and I don't mean like black on black crime or something. I mean as black people, because we have no other thing that we can be called as this race, but as that seeing where we fit into society at, because of the fact of how swift and how separated everyone has come from these 5 black officers. You know what I'm saying? How they're not like any other time we've had police brutality where there's white officers involved against black people. They have found some way, excuse me, to try to protect them, for lack of a better phrase, and somehow like they don't immediately get fired. They you know what I'm saying? It's something to say, well, whatever the culprit did or the perpetrator or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's always some type of conversation around why the cop did this, and it's never straight to how horrendous the action is. In this case, it was immediate termination. It was immediately how horrendous it was. Every media outlet is against these cops. Every government agency is against these cops. Every police force is talking about, like, there has not been one conversation out that has been to try to justify what they did, to try to shield them for what they did. You know what I'm saying? It was immediately throw them to the wolves. I agree with the producer. We do have to start using black on black crime, but we have been kind of programmed to say it so fast.
It's okay. So I don't know how I feel about. Is the outrage that these guys were handled swiftly, and if they were white, it would have taken time. I don't give a fuck. Like, they fucked up. I'm glad they were taken care of swiftly. What I'm not happy about is that they were given a fucking bond.
Yes, they were all given bonds. 2 of them got $350,000 bond, and the other 3 got $250,000 bond
for murder, which I think is crazy, because under no circumstances, I don't know what the
that's high
was in Memphis, but I didn't think you got a bond for murder.
That's high.
35,000
for murder, yeah. And I know it's different states, but like even when I was in Texas working for the courts, people with murder were getting bonds of $50,000.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. My thing with
murder,
it, like,
I didn't even know you got a bond for murder.
I'm on your side, Jay. What you saying? You don't care that they were dealt with swiftly because they were supposed to be dealt with swiftly. So I don't want it to seem as though I'm saying I have an issue with them being dealt with swiftly. What I'm saying is, I think racially we need to understand as a people that
we can't do what they do.
Exactly. That's what I want people to understand when I say we still need to discuss race with this, because yes, I'm glad that they were taken care of swiftly. I'm glad of everything that happened to them, except for the fact I literally want them to just be take all 5 of them, sit them like in a little spot, and send them into an arena one by one, and let 5 big ass cats go out there and whoop their ass. But let them fight. You ain't got to handcuff them. Let them sit there and wait their turn, and let them fight 5-on-1 against the 5 big. Put them against 5 prize fighters or MMA fighters or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to handcuff them and put them on the ground. Let them go ahead and fight back. But give them 5 cats who know what they're doing and let them stomp them out. That's what I feel the punishment should be. That's what you doled out. That's what you should get in return. Especially when it was 5 of y'all who had the size over this cat. You know what I'm saying? Had weapons over the cat. You know what I'm saying? You spraying them with mace. The white cat who they ain't even really putting out there. The only reason they saying something about the white officer now is because other people started to put him out there, because I think his name was said on one of the videos or something like that.
I had no idea until somebody posted him. Was like, hey, this is the one who was caught also who tased him. So now he's being fired. White dude.
He wasn't fired.
Oh yeah, I heard that he was fired.
No. He was relieved of duty.
So he probably was allowed to resign, maybe.
Basically, relieved of duty. So like he's probably still gonna get his pension, and it's like an administrative leave. That doesn't mean that he can't go and get a job back or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not really. He's still under investigation. There's still an investigation when it comes to him. And if you notice these others, they fired, they charged. There's no investigation. There's no investigation because now, as rightfully so, we know what these other ones did. But he also played a role in that also.
Yeah, just like the EMTs.
Right, the EMTs.
Just like the woman sitting in her car. She didn't directly do anything, but she got fired. He tased him, so he should be fired.
What exactly did the EMTs do or not do?
So we were talking about at my job, and what my lieutenants were saying was that they did not report it. So when you're an EMT, and it's just like you know how you have a gunshot victim, they gonna find out. You can't just go in there and be like, oh, I got shot, take care of me. No, this is what happened. It was almost like they were trying to protect the officers. They did not say what happened, even though they know what happened.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know that he had got free and started running. That's how I think that's how the kidnapping comes into effect, actually, because he got free and started to run, and they caught him at a different location again. Like once he was on the ground, after he had got pepper sprayed a couple times, he got that. They said he kind of wiggled free after they were stomping or whatever, and he got to move. Cause I did not watch the video in entirety. I watched right up to the part where they show him screaming for his mama, and then I was done with the video.
That's man.
Yeah, we all saw him. Well, I didn't see him Mason Tyree because I didn't watch that far in it, but
He said, Carla said we all saw his fat white fingers.
But yeah, but they're investigating what his part in it was. So with that, but yeah, he wasn't fired though. He was relieved of duty. So
his fat white fingers.
so of course, you know, you got the outcry from that. They protested. I think they shut down 57. They was out there. Al Sharpton did the funeral. I didn't see any parts of the funeral. Did anybody see any other funeral or anything that happened with that?
What funeral? Their funerals?
Tyree's.
Funeral.
He had a funeral?
It was today, if I'm not mistaken.
I haven't been really watching the news. All the news I get is secondhand.
Yeah.
So you know, I feel about this, and I understand Jay, and it's funny that I feel the way I feel. Like when I hear what Vale's position, and when I heard it earlier, I was kind of like, wow, that's right. You know what I'm saying? But when you think about stuff like with R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, I felt the same way Jay feels now when everybody was saying, well, what about such and such? This person did that person did that, and they didn't get the same treatment. And now that he's black, they throwing him in jail and he can't see it. I felt like so. He black, he can't do what they do. And it's kind of the same thing. I guess they know now we police, but we ain't really, with the brotherhood.
That's the only thing I want to get. That's the mindset I want them to have. You know what I'm saying? All over it. That the brotherhood, only the brotherhood until you screw up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's about us protecting them, they all over it. But when you screw up, you know what I'm saying?
You're on your own.
You're on your own. Now, they were very idiotic in this here, and it makes it very hard to defend them because every camera in the city that was on them, they never turned their body cams off. The fool even took his body cam off at one point, set it down while I was recording to go and brag about what he did and talk to each other about what they did to go pick the body cam up, put it back on and go back to recording. And never at one time did it get turned off.
Now, but a lot of the white officers, the camera is showing what they do, and they still support them until they just can't. Even try to sweep it under the rug until somebody finds out about it. Then it's like, oh, shoot, we got to address it now.
So we can't do what they do.
I'm sorry for cutting you off, Jay. What were you saying?
No, I was just going to say that was wild that they was like literally like bragging about the shit. To me, that's what really like threw me over. Like, damn, they had no remorse. It makes you feel like it was personal. Like, even if that story is not true, it makes you feel like that had to be.
It feels very personal in here, where it's like they knew him from some way, somehow. It feels very personal.
So here's the thing. So, my friend Lee, he sent me. So I had already heard the story, but he sent the story, and I'm like, well, from what I was reading, the family's attorney allegedly was saying that story, about the ex-girlfriend or whatever was not true. And so I was kind of tending to believe that because it's like that would actually help their case. Why would their attorney say, no, that ain't it? when that's something that would definitely help their case. But then Lee was like, well, his son's best friend worked for the Memphis Police Department, and he said it's true.
Well, they haven't come out and substantiated it or anything like that. I did read a story where the parents, supposedly the parents of Tyree, said it's not true. I was reading Little Nell's comment. No reform strategy or accountability because the conversation gets diverted by race.
I'm I guess I feel the same as Linnell, right? Not so much as that the conversation is being diverted, but I just feel like it I think we're worried about the wrong shit, right? As a whole, not us opinionated, but as a whole, right? A man was murdered, point blank, period. We know who did it. We've seen who did it. All we need is justice, whatever that looks like for that family. That's really all we need. I don't care about if they were white, it would have happened this way, or who should have did what, and it's really not even our business as to why they did what they did, right? If it was that personal, right? It's not our concern. We know the facts are they murdered a man in cold blood on camera. They have to take that, point blank, period.
I'll say this. I don't believe that there's going to be reform. I believe that these are Black men, so they're going to use them to swiftly make them pay in the public eye right away. See, we're handling it. We're not going to stand for this, and use them so that there won't be any riots like with George Floyd, because there was riots around the world because of that, not just where it happened. It was around the world, right? Because we were talking about it in our roll calls, telling us to watch our backs. Don't wear your uniforms to work. Don't stop nowhere after work in your uniform. Preparing for it. But they're trying to stop that. That's all they're doing. See, we're doing something. It ain't gonna be no police reform.
I hate to
because
say,
I guarantee when it happens and it's another white cop, I want to see it when it happens. I need to see them do something when it's not all Black cops.
I don't see. I don't know. I don't know if it's a callous heart, but I don't care. I don't care if they make. I want them to make an example out of these men.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't make an example out of them, but I'm saying they're just using them to say, "Hey, we're doing something," but you're really not.
I mean, I understand that, but to me, like, the token is fine with me at this point. Like, I don't care. I don't care if they punish them to the fullest extent. We just watched it, because here's the thing, like basically we kind of saying the same thing. Like, we need to get it through our heads that we are not them.
Mm-hmm.
So once that's made clear to us by them, you are not one of us. You will be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Whatever the fuck you do, if you caught doing anything wrong, from the smallest to the biggest, maybe we'll wake up. But I don't care about. I like, fine, and whatever.
But we talk about reform. The thing is, you saying race. I don't think that's because I haven't heard very many people feel the way Vail feels. I only saw that one video, and I was kind of like, wow, yeah. Everything I heard has been, oh my God, this is horrible. I haven't really heard the race angle until I saw that one video, and then talking to my brother. Before, I haven't really read anything besides that one video that somebody sent me about that. Everybody has been outraged. Everybody is upset. Nobody is saying, wait a minute. These Black guys, that nobody has said that was just like an aha moment when it was brought to me, because I hadn't even thought that, but it was kind of like, wait a minute, it was an aha moment for me, because I agree with it. Not saying that they should not be punished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of, like I said, it's the same thing with the R. Kelly situation, right? They gonna punish him to the fullest extent, but all of these other celebrities that might be molesting children or marrying young girls or whatever, that's our counterparts, that's still happening.
So let me
but
ask,
they're using the Black people to say, hey, we don't like this, but you know what I'm saying?
I definitely understand that, but I think, let me ask this: do you think that we should even care at this point if we know for a fact that shit is not equal across the board for between the races? We know it's not equal. We know there'll never be any. Well, I don't want to say never, but we know at least in our lifetime there isn't going to be any real reform. Um, we know that there's going to be a difference in how our counterparts are treated. Why do we continue to wonder if it's going to change when it does happen again? Not if, but when it does happen again.
Wonder if what's going to change.
If we're going to see a white officer or white officers handled as swiftly. And honestly, we don't know
I don't
exactly.
believe we are.
So
I'm not wondering if
why
we
do
are.
we even, why is this a conversation, right? Like, why shouldn't we just be focusing on the punishment for these guys instead of thinking what's
My thought is, let's see, my thought is not wondering anything else. My thought with me personally, it's the fact of saying the punishment for these guys, and we want them to be punished I want them to be punished swiftly. I want them to be punished to the fullest extent that they can be punished to. What I also want is for us to realize that we are not them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's when I say we need to talk about it as race also, it's the fact to drive home that we cannot do the things that they do in this world, in their world. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's not to say, oh, why is it that if it was white, they would have done this? And I point that out to show you, to say, now see, look, if it was white, it wouldn't happen this fast. Not to say next time
It
I'm gonna be
shouldn't
treated
happen
this.
as
Why
fast.
it's gonna happen this? You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's not going to change, but I need us to look and see we don't get treated the same. You know what I'm saying? And understand that we don't get treated the same, so we can act accordingly.
well, I think
Not to take away from what's happening with these guys, because I'm when I talk about it, I'm not even really talking about them anymore, because
the
I want them
situation, right?
punished.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the situation.
I think
And that's
that
the same thing with anything. I'm sorry, Jay. Like
no.
even with arrests, where a black guy and a white guy commit the same crime in the same state, and the white guy might get probation and the black guy get 10 to 15 years. It's the same. When are we gonna realize, hey, but it's also a thing of, is this a system that's, it's still, a system that's on our necks to try to show us, hey, get in your place.
It
Yes.
is, and I think I don't want to be that guy, but I think that once you see shit like, okay, these five guys, whatever their punishment is, it's gonna be heavy. We know that, right? Well, at least we assume that their punishment is gonna be heavy. Once you see two or three instances of black officers, black people in whatever positions of power, like we just see R. Kelly got 30 years, and I don't want to keep using him as an example, but the closest that come to mind, he got 30 years. They going whatever they give these guys. Once you start to see that our punishments are going to always be steeper, then maybe that'll click. But honestly, with the mentality that we have, a lot of us don't care, and that's where the issue is. I don't even know so much as if it's a there are systematic there are systematic strangleholds on us, but there's also a mindset lock on us, right? A lot of us don't care. A lot of us have that don't give a fuck mentality, and we gonna do what we want to do regardless, and don't care about the consequences. So I think that, like everything in life, the only time we'll see a change in something like this, specifically when it comes to us, is if there's a mindset flip. And I don't know necessarily that we can. I hate to be so pessimistic, but I don't know that we can actually come together on something like this, because we've seen it time and time again. I don't know if this may be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Did I
You
say
talking
that?
about these five cops beat this
The
kid?
fact that they're black, though, and us seeing it, you know what I mean, over the news. Maybe this may be the thing that kind of calvarize us together, whatever the fuck it is. Calgarize.
No, because nobody's looking at it like this. Now it's looked at as police brutality. It's not looked at as, when, a white person does it to a black person, or these white cops are scared of black men. You shouldn't be on the force if the first thing you're going to do is shoot us, but you handle white people differently. Now it's black people doing it. Now it's police.
Well, so the thing is, right, that the narrative, not the narrative, but the verbiage did change, right? The verbiage changed really quick.
Yeah.
But I mean
The
that's
verbiage changed because I think it was a question. I was watching one of the other, I think it was Comedy Hype or whatever, and they was asking, do we think that this will hurt the Black Lives Matter movement? And my thought was, why would it hurt the Black Lives Matter movement? Because the Black Lives Matter movement was about, is not
Police
about,
brutality.
it's about powers, the powers that be doing something to Black people or not valuing Black lives. It wasn't about a certain person doing it to you. I'm saying it's not even about like, I know we say we're gonna talk, but it's not like Black on Black crime and all that there. You know what I'm saying, or civilians doing things to Black people. But it was about the powers that be, the people who had the power doing things, devaluing Black lives and that with that. So Linnell says, what I'm saying is race is the ultimate cheat code to change any subject. If you don't want to change, Trayvon got murdered by a Peruvian and it shifted to black and white to avoid a discussion about gun reform.
That's all strategic though, right? Like we know. You know what that's about. The specifically when it comes to that conversation, gun reform. Like we know that those things are changed because obviously Republicans love their guns. They're not the only ones, obviously, but we know why that conversation switched. And a lot of
That's a bad
everything
example.
is a bait and switch, though, right? With
I
the
think that's a
Trayvon
bad
Martin,
example. Yeah.
I don't think so.
That's a bad example because that was black on white. That even though you want to say gun reform in that or whatever, you know what I'm saying, only gun reform would have stopped that is to say people can't have guns, period. Or you know what I'm saying. Now I could say if it should have been a conversation about that stand your right, or stand your ground law or whatever. But that was that was racism at its finest. That at the top most. That was a white person. I don't care if you want to call him Peruvian, Russian or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He was a white person who saw a young black man and he stereotypically, judged that person because of how he looked. You know what I'm saying? And thought that black person was not supposed to be in that neighborhood, and he was going to do something about that. That was racism. That's a race conversation. Yes, you can go into it now and say, in order a way that we could have stopped that if there were stricter gun laws in there, or if they changed how the stand your ground law is in Florida or some of that nature. But at the root of that was a race problem.
Mm-hmm.
If that was a white young man over there, he wouldn't have looked at him and decided he wasn't supposed to be there. So no matter if he had his pistol on him or not, he wouldn't have shot that white young man like that because he figured that white man was supposed to be in that neighborhood or he was supposed to be there. I just think that was a bad example of that. I can understand what he's saying about with this particular case with Tyree. The issue is you can't talk. They're going to get away from the conversation of police reform because of the swiftness that they handled the cops with. So there's no need to reform anything because what it's going to be is that these cops did something outside of their training anyway. Because this feels personal between them. This wasn't a regular stop that they did something wrong in the stop. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that they caught this young man doing something illegal or anything. This almost looked like it was a targeted thing. It's like these cops wanted this young man. They yanked him up out of his car, and nothing in there is in the handbook. So there's no need for police reform for this certain incident. Because guess what? We're handling the situation swiftly. They already been fired. They already been brought up on charges. They already had their bonds up. You know what I'm saying? We are taking care of the situation. They damn near might have court next week. They might be sitting in a courtroom or something as fast as they moving through this. The only thing that's not moving as fast is the white guy. I can't even remember his name.
Which white guy?
The one who tased him.
With the fingers.
Yeah, fat fingers.
Fat fingers.
Let me see. I think I need to get his name too. I don't want us to get too much light on everybody else.
I mean, we ain't even said the black officers' names, though, to be honest.
I don't know their names. I just know because I didn't want.
One of them named is Demetrius. One of them is that the one that about the girlfriend.
Which is like we said earlier, speculation, just in case Demetrius or his family members. This is alleged.
The thing
Stop
is,
spreading
one
that.
thing said it was an ex-wife. One thing said it was an ex-girlfriend who was his baby mom, his mother of his children, because that's what we were supposed to use baby mama no more, right?
You're not supposed to say baby mom?
Y'all told me to stop saying baby mama shows ago.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That's because you was being disrespectful.
Oh, my God. I saw that. And Who was that? Did I send y'all the video where oh, what's his name? Who was that who tore him
Preston
up?
Hempel, that's his name. Say that again.
Who was that who tore him up? The dude who blamed that
Oh
on
my
single
God.
black mothers.
That was
Jason
Jason Whitlock.
Whitlock, idiot.
I mean, but somebody tore him up. It was
He
either
doubled
he-
down on it.
DL
though.
Hughley
Everybody been on him. DL been on him.
or what's
Sierra jumped on
Sierra
him.
got out on him.
who
Sierra.
who was the black guy that y'all don't really like that much that finally built the school?
Oh, Dr. Umar.
I
Yeah.
love Dr. Umar. I love Dr. Umar.
I don't dislike Dr. Umar. I'm not one way or the other. Sometimes I like to hear him talk. Sometimes I don't. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he's cool. I think people try too much to try to make him perfect. And so they dislike things of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if he's speaking about what he feels is right for the black race, what direction we should be moving, how we should be treating our kids, they'll say some ignorant shit like, yeah, man, but he be over there looking at strippers. When he stopped looking at strippers, then he could talk to me. And it's like, okay, so you're saying he's
Right.
not supposed to be human because he got some
Right.
intellect. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, all of his views I'm not in line with all of his views, but I have a problem against him. And
I like Umar strictly off the fact that he is unapologetically black. That alone to me is enough for me to be like, now I ain't saying that I agree with Cuz. I don't agree with everything that he says. Some of the stuff he says a little left field, but for the most part, when he speak about us, it's only about empowerment. And I don't understand how you cannot be for that.
Yeah. I mean,
because black people really want to believe that anybody who speaks well and is trying to do something forward thinking is scamming them, especially if it don't happen tomorrow. So since he was trying to build a school and bringing in money, all somebody had to say was one little thing about, well, he took that money and bought a new car. It's like, I thought he was trying to buy a school. You know what I'm saying? We real quick to say somebody who looks like us, who's trying to do something, is trying to scam us and get rich off of our dollar.
true.
Especially if they well spoken. So
It's crazy.
So with the struggles that he go through to get things taken care of, and he gonna make some missteps too. We got to realize that. But the thing about it is, his missteps are amplified because he's in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? We forget that it's just like your pastor at church.
Yeah, I was gonna say just like preachers.
You know what I'm saying? You forget that they're human, and we kind of pedestalize them, and it's like, okay, they ain't supposed to do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't supposed to do no wrong. His life got to be a straight line. You know what I'm saying? He got to tightrope it. And because he's in the public eye, and when he make a mistake now, and then we don't let him live that mistake down. We don't let him live that mistake down. Now, people we like, because like I say, my man Kevin Hart, I love Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart make a mistake, he gonna get a little bit of whipping on it, and then guess what? He gonna say a joke, and now he everybody favorite again. I think they believe that, Carla, they should only be scammed by white people,
which is crazy. It's crazy. You know how many Africans that scam black people?
I don't remember the Muslim on.
They're not black though. They're African.
Africans aren't black.
Mm-mm.
I bet you they get their ass out there. The police get their ass. They gonna be black.
It depends. If the police get them in America, they might let them go if they come out in the old dashiki with an accent. You know? But it got to be that long dashiki down to their feet with some sandals on or no shoes. You know? Then they get diplomatic immunity from the jump.
Man,
well, back to Jason Whitlock. I think I don't want to say he should be fired, but I don't want to see nobody really out of work if that's what they need to survive. But I think he need a little vacation.
Suspension.
He needed a vacation. Yeah, suspension is something that it was insensitive what he did. And, you know, I don't have a problem with a person speaking their mind, but that was very insensitive.
I mean, but did he research? Do these 5 officers not have fathers? I mean,
I don't care if they don't.
But I'm just saying, why would he say that?
Trying to sound profound.
What I've learned, Jason Whitlock is a guy that speaks before thinking. A lot of the shit that he says makes no sense when you really break it down. It's a lot of meritless conversation. It's really a lot of his opinion that he try to push on people as facts.
I just think the guy needs he just need to be called into the office and told to have a seat for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Go on vacation, man. Go to Africa. Sit with some
But he ain't
black
gonna
people.
do that. You know why? And I'm finna make it a race thing because he talking about black women. He couldn't say nothing about no white women and their child rearing. If they left single, it'd have been like, whoa, now.
Hold on, Negro.
This is true. If he'd have said that, if he'd have said this reeks of men raised by single white women, he'd have been off the air.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He'd have been off the air. But since he said it was black women they raised by, and the thing is, it's a hot button because there is a back and forth now about the percentage of single black women in our community. You know what I'm saying, with that there. So now he said that because he was trying to get people on his team. You know what I'm saying, trying to get people to amen. I mean, trying to change the conversation into the family unit again. It was. But my thing was, I think it was an insensitive comment. Even though he was trying to talk about the 5 officers, that comment, I mean, it was just an insensitive comment. A woman just lost her son. We don't know why, because there's no reasoning for it out there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was driving reckless. He ain't run no lights. He wasn't speeding. He had done nothing wrong. And
that's another thing that make you feel like it was personal, right? Because I believe I don't know if she's the superintendent or if she was a chief. I don't know who she was, but I guess she's over that police department. She come out and said they had no reason to even stop this man.
He even said the fact that it was a woman in charge of the police. She wasn't really doing her job. That's why they act like that.
Yeah.
That she brought that type of energy to the police station, and they act like that.
I mean, for all he know, Tyree Nichols' mother could have raised him. So now you done insulted her.
Yeah, so I think
so somehow this is her fault too.
It was a very insensitive comment. I think they reprimand people for less. Kyrie put a post out, you know what I'm saying, to direct you somewhere, a link, and he had a list of shit he needed to do.
Man, they just fired a black man off TV because he got with a white lady. Talk about that. Let's talk about that.
They fired him because he got caught.
Caught doing what? They wasn't hiding.
He got caught.
He wasn't cheating. He wasn't.
They weren't divorced. Neither one of them weren't divorced yet. The divorces didn't come after those pictures.
They were separated. It's from what they said that they were separated. So they were. I mean, technically, yes, they were still legally married, but they were separated.
And you can't fire somebody.
They did it. They fired 2. Both of them got fired, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they fired.
And they was walking down the street happy, holding hands. Like so.
I didn't see any of the media, Carlos. So I didn't see his dad or his stepdad speak up anything. I'm to the point where a lot of these videos I can't watch. With that, it's almost like me watching the movie Mississippi Burning or Time to Kill. Like I can't get to the point. I can't watch those type of things anymore because they put me in a different mind state that I don't need to be in most of the time. I like to be in control of my way of my emotions and how I handle myself.
And I think that's also something that we need to discuss, specifically how, and I don't want to sound like our counterparts, but it's legit, how the media specifically shows us being murdered. The constant reminder that our lives is at its lowest
entertainment.
But just the fact that it's at its lowest value, and we're constantly reminded of it because every time we turn on, you get on social media, Instagram, Twitter, you're going to see somebody die, specifically a black man. When you see a black man die so much over and over and over, you know that the PTSD that causes when people get behind, a police officer get behind any black man, regardless of whether or not you got anything wrong going on, which you automatically think, I just want to go home. I just want to make
straighten you up quick, boy. You want to straighten the person up, put some blue lights behind them.
Exactly.
I don't know. I kind of feel like if this was my child, I wouldn't want to see, unless it was my idea, kind of like with the Emmett Till. It was the mother's idea to show him, so that she could see the outrage or whatever. But I wouldn't want to see the video of my child.
Like the picture of him in the hospital bed with his neck and stuff, all that. That was the father who put it out there. I don't know if it's a step.
No, I'm just talking about period. Yeah. For me, I wouldn't want to see the video every time I turn on the TV.
I don't want to see it. Period. And I called you Yay. Jamarcus, that comment was for you.
I saw it. I didn't mean for it to be because of the white woman. Just the simple fact that he was in a new relationship. Because well, I guess it is because she's white. Because I'm pretty sure if it would have been another black woman, then it wouldn't have been an issue.
But guess what? Umar said he shouldn't have been with him anyway. Umar tell you in a minute he was that.
I mean, hey, listen. Whatever floats your boat and finds your lost remote is up to you. But there's a big difference between being morally wrong and doing something illegal.
It's true. It is true. Unless they signed something that said that they weren't supposed to fraternize,
Yeah, that's what they were saying in the what is it, Udoka?
In the Udoka case, it was because they weren't supposed to be fraternizing. But we all know it's because he slept with one of his boss's ladies.
But if they weren't supposed to be fraternizing, then
that true? One of his boss's lady?
Yeah, she was a higher up. She belonged to one of the higher ups, and you know what I'm saying, he got a little higher.
She didn't belong to anybody.
Look, come on.
Belong to anybody.
Is this not the opinions of opinionated? Right, these are not the thoughts of
this information has not been confirmed, so this is alleged.
Nah. He was from what they say, she was
these are the rumors. Right, rumor has it. Rumor has it.
She was for the streets. She was the top pass around.
The issue is though, the Udoka, we don't want to rehash too much of that, but the bigger issue with the Udoka was the fact that he was the only one punished, or he was the only one castrated in the public eye. She was protected, shielded, and we ain't supposed to know nothing about her. And I'm like, but it was too.
They both were doing wrong.
In a consensual relationship. He ain't take nothing from it. This is a consensual relationship they were in. So you're going to shield her and then run him over the coals in the public eye.
And the bigger thing is because a lot of what I saw specifically from some women that were saying that it's not about putting that woman's information out because we didn't know the whole story. So I would feel that if there was some sort of what do they call it? Quid pro quo. Is that what it's called when you're in the office and you like fucking with somebody and you tell them, yeah, you'll give them this or that? I feel like they would be doing that woman a disservice by not putting that information out there if he was doing that type of shit.
But the thing about that is that's how we found out. That's how they were saying somebody could hired him, because at first they was trying to say it was like he put his power over, like saying like he was in a position of power over her. But then it kind of came out through some back channels that he had nothing to offer her. She was basically over him. Not that she had like he couldn't fire her, she couldn't fire him. But that's how it came out to say she was dealing with somebody like she belonged to somebody who was in a higher position than him. At this point, I think it should be categorized as a fetish to see violent black bodies brutalized. When you think of the public beatings during slavery, the lynching after Reconstruction, the bombings during the civil rights movement, et cetera, et cetera. Fetish or some form of entertainment. I think what it is, we're trying to be desensitized to it, because every act of violence that happens now is shown on video, and they've got it to the point whereas they want us to videotape it. When you're out in the street, if something is happening, they say the first thing people do now is take out their cameras instead of even trying to help. So it's the fact of desensitizing us to violence at certain things. If you see some people finna get into a fight, we're not trying to break the fight up. We're trying to video it so everybody else can see it. And that goes to the social media, trying to get more clicks or more likes on my page. If I'm the one who got it over on my page, I'm bringing more traffic to my site on my page on this here. So I do think it's, I don't know about it being a fetish, but I do think it is a form of entertainment for other people, which could be categorized as a fetish. But I think more so is for the desensitization. Desensitization, is that the word? Desensitization.
We'll go with it.
It sounds pretty good.
I'll allow it.
You know, it seems like it's more so to move us along those lines. So when things of this nature, because in all honesty, before I saw it was 5 black cops, I wasn't in as much of an uproar. Don't get me wrong. I still was thinking, okay, it's wrong. We need to take care of this. I'm so tired of this happening. I didn't get the fire in my belly really until I saw it was black cops, because I was mad for a totally different reason of it. I still was upset about it. I still was like, man, this needs to stop. You know what I'm saying? But when I found out that they were black cops, I was more upset. If they hadn't threw them on there, and it could be because of the fact that we've seen it so much, and every day you're seeing some form of violence being shown to you, either on Facebook, Instagram, or something is being put out to you. Like World Star has died down, but it's still a term that people use, when you see it. But we've just been desensitized to it.
Reading Carletta's comment, makes me really sad, because it is like modern day lynching. Blacks back in the day, you do this could happen, and it's publicly shown, and it's pretty much the same now. No matter what position you're in, no matter how much money you have, you do this is what's going to happen to you, be it being killed publicly or publicly humiliated, going to jail for the rest of your life, whatever,
Yeah.
The scariest part about that is, though, you don't have to do anything but be black. That's it. You don't have to make a mistake. You don't have to do anything
the
but
mistake is to be in the wrong place at the wrong
time. That's it. You could, and that's something that, honestly, like I said earlier, like when you, as a black man, right, as a black woman, as a black person, like we know that when we step outside, I do all the things that are against us, and particularly when you in certain areas, right? You work all over the city, cuz all over the city, good parts and the bad parts. Someday you walk out your house, you don't know, you might you might go to somebody's house and do something, and God forbid this ever happens, but you might get caught in the crossfire of some two idiots doing something. We out here in the burbs on New Year's Eve, a man was killed in front of his house. In front of his house, down the street from my parents, a man was killed in front of his house. So we have
that was and
I don't want to go into the details of that, but it's brutal, right? So we have not only defending ourselves from our own, we have to worry about if we get pulled over, if we gonna make it home. If the cop if he having a bad day, all you got to do is look at him wrong, and you might not make it home. There's so much against us when you walk outside your door. It's almost like you pray in the morning for waking up, and then you pray before you walk out the door to be able to come back in.
Yeah, it's rough. That's why you got a white car? Okay. I want to before we start to wind
a nice car too.
It's a very
nice. To wind down. I want to change directions real quick. No segue, but I got a question. I just found this out like yesterday. So, did y'all know that the U.S. is giving SSI to Ukrainian refugees?
How the fuck they giving SSI to the Ukrainian refugees when they talking about we ain't gonna have SSI for us?
They are giving SSI to Ukrainian refugees who entered the country after the war started. They're getting a pension and health benefits.
A pension from what?
They don't have U.S. Social Security numbers. I looked it up. It says,
what they mailing their checks to?
They have to get over. They're not sending it to Ukraine. So
right. But I'm saying when they refugees, so they here. Where the fuck they getting checks at here?
It says necessary documents for registration of pension. They need a passport, a form I-94, Social Security number if available. If available. Information on income and available savings.
Oh yeah, but Social Security number is not available now. When I be filling out stuff, it says Social Security number. Or even when you filing your taxes, and I was doing my taxes, it says Social Security number, or there's a box, I don't have a Social Security number, or something like that.
How the
it
fuck
says the amount of the payment. The amount of the payment depends on the state in which the refugee resides. In 2023, the minimum will be $914 per month for a single person, or $1,371 for a married couple.
But we can't.
That's more than what we get. That the people I know that get SSI, that's more than what they get.
Yeah.
Where is money coming from? If SSI is so low for us, where is money coming from?
Who pension? From us, baby.
It is too.
That's our pension.
What pension is it coming from? The pension of the U.S.? The fuck pension is it coming from?
What'd you say, Carla? It must be nice to be a European.
And they were sending the Haitians back. We ain't talking about that. When the Haitians was coming over here, they was turning their ass around.
When the Haitians come here, they were like, nah, buddy, we ain't got no help for you. Ukrainians come over here, they was like, hey, we got some pension for you. Come on over here. We got some SSI for you.
Got some SSI for you that we don't even want to give our own people.
Who paid into it.
Come on.
We telling the ones who put into the pot, hey, your money ain't gonna be here when you get to the age, right? When you get there.
Ass. We gonna give it to these motherfuckers. Man.
Hey, you gotta get out the workforce, man.
It's no way to live. Like the crazy part about life, right? We've all had money, you know what I mean? So it's like you understand that money is probably not the most, not probably, but money is not the most important thing in the world, but you need it to live.
Yes.
You cannot live without it.
Correct.
I won't say you can't live without it, but life will be really hard without it. It's so fucked up that you can't barter nowadays. Like, teach me a trade so I can barter with a motherfucker and then let me live like that. I'd much rather be able to barter than fucking the trading your time for money is the biggest ripoff and the biggest scam that I don't think people have understood yet.
It is very much so. Carletta, reparations. You know they're doing reparations in Evanston, Illinois.
Evanston, Illinois?
Yes.
Who they giving reparations to?
They passed a law in 2021 for reparations for Evanston, Illinois. Is the first city in the country to approve a law for reparations. They got $10 million set aside for reparations. They're supposed to choose 16 families, but they only giving them $25,000, something like that.
That is crazy.
And it's in Evanston, Illinois, but it's only going to the people who live in Evanston. So like they choosing like 16 families.
Ain't it a lot of white people in Evanston?
College education is the second biggest scam. No, insurance is the second biggest scam.
Ain't it a lot of white people in Evanston?
It is. I think it's the majority. I think it's a majority of Caucasians.
So everybody black should be getting it at Evanston.
But I think they said they choose, and if I read it right, I think it's like they choosing like 14 or 16 people to give it to. And I don't even know how they're choosing those people. But
that's
for
what I'm saying. They
25,000,
gotta be everybody black.
For 25,000, I'm like, you can keep that. Don't give me.
You talking about, and then it's families, right? So it ain't, Yeah,
don't give me no 25 grand and tell me you gave me reparations. Nah, I'm cool. You was giving more of that away, and the PPP people got more than that. You know what I'm saying? ERC, I ain't going. Of the 40 billion, 350 million is allocated to the SSI. What 40 billion we talk? 40 billion are we talking about? Oh, you talking about the what they call it, the Ukrainian thing? But where did the 40 billion come from? You know, it's a budget that they put out, but where did they get the money for the budget? They got a documentary called The Big Payback that tells the story of Evanston's reparation efforts. There is and was a large black business community in Evanston. True, but I don't think what they're using as reparations is enough to be called reparations. And how they're doing it. So, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, and fool me. You can't get fooled again. That is what Bush said. But it's tied to why the tax returns are low. So you're basically saying that they're taking tax money and doing that. And then tax returns are only low for certain people. I know people getting some very big tax returns.
Mine was low. But I don't get no taxes taken out of my check throughout the year. So I knew mine was going to be low. I need all my dollars, my coins.
Yeah, I don't need the government to really save my money for me either. So, but I don't make no money. I'm a 1099 person. And the LLC. So I'm taking advantage of all tax benefits.
Me too.
So, with that. Oh, look at Jay back.
My apologies.
Did you go whip some butt? Did you in here with the belt?
Nah, I just had a quick conversation.
Oh, okay. All right, y'all got to say Jay has turned a new leaf in his fatherhood thought process.
No, I didn't. Same old me.
You talking about in Evanston? I think it should be called more of a housing program in Evanston because it is $25,000 for housing. I think that they give them, calling it reparations, and it shouldn't be called reparations. You know,
$25,000 for housing.
yes, in their reparation program in Evanston. So, I think they named it reparations or called it that just so they can I won't say start controversy, but make people feel like they doing something for them, like they had us in mind with this here. Like this is a program that is for us. You know, it could be the fact that they're using that so that other people cannot really get in. They can make it a program specifically for Black people, and then there's no backlash about it because reparations is geared just around the Black community. I don't think right now that's one of the only things that you could talk about where another community is not trying to get their share of it. You know what I'm saying? Any other movement or anything coming about, everybody's is the everybody has their hand in it or speaks on that. Well, why can't we? You know what I'm saying? Or that's exclusive. You know what I'm saying? You need to be more inclusive in what it is you're doing. When you talk about reparations, everybody kind of like get away from it because they know it's kind of tied to slavery. So
I I want to change topics, but I want to bring
topics. Go ahead.
Forget. I don't know if you all have seen this video, but there's a video of a Black teacher, and I guess one of his students called him the N word, and the teacher, he's a pretty big guy. The kid's maybe $120. Well, it couldn't look like he can't be no older than 15, 16. And the teacher's like walking up on the kid and telling him to say it again. And the little boy don't say it again. You never hear the little boy call him a nigga on camera or nothing like that. But you see this teacher like take the kid and slam him.
Couldn't be my kid.
So I had a conversation with my wife, and I was like, I don't give a damn what my kid said. I would never allow a grown man to manhandle my kid like that. What's up?
Was the kid white or Black?
From the video, I could not tell. He looked like he might have been Mexican, or I don't know. I couldn't tell from the video. But I'm assuming the way that the teacher took offense to it, he wasn't Black. And this is just my assumption. But he's like slammed the kid, like slammed him, then picked him up, threw him out the classroom, like literally like Jazz off the Fresh Prince, threw him out the classroom. I would have been upset as the parent of that kid. Now, my thing is,
God, let it tripping today.
he fucked around and found out. he made it all the way up to level 10.
Man.
No, but I would have been pissed. I was talking to my wife and she's like, nah, if my kid did or said something like that, then I would be okay with that. And I'm like,
Shit.
I'm never okay with another adult putting their hands on my kid.
I wouldn't be okay with that because I could feel both sides of it. You know, I would be pissed. But put myself in that teacher's position and just hearing that, and kids are disrespectful. These young adults, they so disrespectful.
This is the thing. I can feel both sides of that. But I remember I liken this to when I talked to my daughter about her boyfriend. And how I told her, you shouldn't put your hands on a guy. You know what I'm saying? I said, because if you put your hands on him, he has every right to knock the hair off your head. I'm still going to kill him for doing it, but he's within his right. You know what I'm saying? And I feel the same way about this here. I don't think the teacher was in his right to do that. You know what I'm saying? For this specific thing. But if the teacher felt he was being disrespected, you have every right to kind of, you know what I'm saying, do whatever you think you need. I can't dictate what it is that you think you should do to gain your respect. But I think as a teacher, we got to have a little more self-control or self-restraint, especially if the kid wasn't putting his hands on him. If this is words, okay, you put that kid out the classroom, you call somebody else or whatever. You know what I'm saying? My kid, I'm still going to kill you for that. You know what I'm saying? If I see you on video, I'm going to jail. You know what I'm saying? That plain and simple. I don't mean when I say kill you people, I don't mean, oh, I'm gonna beat him up real bad. I mean he missing. He's no longer part of us. You know what I'm saying? He's gone.
He was raised. How Jason said he was raised.
Jason.
But the flip side of that is, like the producer spoke about, there was a teacher who was assaulted by a student, and the teacher ended up breaking her leg. So
Is that the one in Atlanta?
Yeah. So there's a fine line, right? A teacher should be able to defend themselves, but I don't think they should be the aggressor.
Aggressor, right?
So you should be able to defend yourself, but you should not be the aggressor. And in this instance, this teacher was the aggressor. He was in the kid's face, screaming at him for him to call him a nigga again. The kid never on camera. I don't in the video. You don't hear the kid call him a nigga.
Yeah, because he already was like, "Uh-oh, I done did it now."
And you know what? Honestly, when I looked at the video, I saw in that moment, because you can see when a kid goes from, being big and bad,
from being tough to be like,
understanding, like, I'm a kid. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I might have bit off more than I could chew. And as a parent, I saw that, and I'm like, okay, as the adult, when you see that you got him like that, you did enough. Back up. Now, here's the video.
The video shows the substitute teacher exchanging words with the student before grabbing and slamming him on the ground as other students watched in disbelief. The teacher then forces the student out of the classroom. According to the Westcott.
Oh, so wait, he didn't say it again. As soon as he said it, he grabbed him up.
Yeah.
Well, it's more the video, that was the news clip. So it's more at the beginning of the video than that. They were he was up in the kid's face, screaming at him at first.
Oh, okay. Calm down, nigga.
I mean, put it like this here. This is the issue too, because if that's the video that just get put out, right, and that's all we see, dude has no right to do anything that he did. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what the kid said. He went overboard. He went overboard. You know what I'm saying? That's one of them you tell him to go. Even if the little kid called him out his name, you know what I'm saying? He could have called him a bitch ass nigga, a punk, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's one of them hey man, you know what? Get on up out of here. Go for something happened to you. And now if the kid is still being confrontational after that, and I ain't gonna go, you grab him up, you know what I'm saying? But you don't wipe the chalkboard and anything with him like he did. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because what is security gonna do? If you call security gonna grab his ass and put him up at
right. No, football coach, I'm a football coach, literally. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I would have grabbed him up. You yoke him up, you know what I'm saying? But I'd have just escorted him out the room. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have clinked the wall with him like he did. You know what I'm saying? He snatched him up pretty good, but
he slammed him. He picked him up and choked him out the class. Nah.
It was more of it was worse than a slam. Slam, you go up and come down. He grabbed that girl and he relocated him from here to behind him and wiped him across the wall. Then hit the ground with him. Then got him up and got him up out of there. So I mean,
I had my honor defended yesterday. I didn't tell you about that during my week. My honor got defended. So when I got to work, right, you got to do the count. You go in, and so it's 6 pods that I have to watch. So I go in each one. Y'all go inside, take it up, so I could count. Right.
Carletta is tripping.
Yeah, she tripping.
That didn't look bad to me, but I'm not a parent. He needs to learn
this is the student that assaulted the teacher.
Student attacking a teacher inside a Heritage High School classroom on January 26th is now under review by the school district and authorities with the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office.
Students are out of control.
The video.
That's not funny. It's not funny.
She ain't lying. She ain't lying.
She sounded fed the fuck up. These students are out of control. She done had it up to here with their ass.
That's another thing in that you would need to see. Now, when I say this, I don't mean that the teacher shouldn't be defending herself, but I'm saying you need to see that in totality to see if there was a point where the teacher could have de-escalated it. You know what I'm saying? They got the little girl out of there, but I don't know, the beginning. Now, once anybody put their hands on you, now, and that's another thing, I think, as much as I defend my kid, you know what I'm saying? If they even jumped on an adult, it's okay, we got to kind of handle this a different way. I can't go up here and stomp the teacher out because she didn't whooped your ass because you call yourself trying to jump on her or something, you know.
I wish the teacher, but if the teacher would have beat her ass, the teacher would have got in trouble. That's what I don't like.
Yep.
Because I would have beat her ass.
I agree with you, Carletta, but I don't think the first instance was a young person testing a teacher, and because we didn't see everything that happened up in there in that classroom, so we don't know. We don't even know why. We don't even know in what way the young man called him out his name or something like that. Because the use of the N-word is so free nowadays. We don't know how that came about and what triggered that teacher with that part there. So we can't say as a young person testing the teacher, especially when all we see is them kind of face to face. And from what Jamarcus says, if we see more of the video, the teacher actually goes into his space and starts the confrontation. So we can't say that's a young person testing an adult. That second one there, I think the little girl should have got squabbed out. You know what I'm saying? She got her hands on it. She should have she should have found out, you know.
She was gonna fuck around and find out.
Right. She picked the right teacher. She picked somebody who she knew kind of wasn't going, you know. So I do believe that at a certain point, at certain young people, you know what I'm saying, because we can't use young people as a broad statement, because if it's a 8-year-old, you know what I'm saying, you ain't finna wipe the wall with him if it ain't your 8-year-old. Now, when they get about that 13, 14-year-old age, or when that age when they think they're your size, you know what I'm saying? Because I run into it out at the football field where you get kids who are kind of close in size or height-wise, not even width or whatever. When they get to a certain height, they think that they can test yourself, but boys go through that too. Nah, she tagging the adults at home, but
I mean, he's saying she probably one of them kids that fight her mama, or, you know, be at home fighting, and she probably don't have no respect for no adults.
Yeah, you can tell she don't have respect for adults. No kid would. Even the little boy who supposedly called the teacher a nigga, he didn't even try to fight the guy back.
Nah, he ain't even the kind of, you know, fight to getting put out the classroom. He got wiped on the wall, stood up, and he just got on up out of there with it. Some of those elementary school kids are the teacher size. That's true.
That is true.
That's true. And what I'm saying is, if you are approached by a kid that's your size, so as a guy, we do put them back in their place very quickly.
You approach by a kid that's your size, because the thing with that is the male ego is so fragile. You cannot risk getting your ass whooped by a 13-year-old that's the same size as you.
Definitely cannot.
It cannot.
It ain't even an ego being fragile. It's the fact that you lose respect of every other kid there. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're supposed to be in a position of power where you're either teaching, coaching, you know what I'm saying, mentoring, anything like that. Because now, guess what? Nobody's listening to you now. You know what I'm saying? They will be disrespectful. You can't cause disrespect and then try to dictate how a person will get mad. I think young people are relying on a teacher may get fired to exercise their margins of disrespect. I agree. Mm-hmm. But I think
you can't touch me. They do that at the jails.
They do that a lot. But I think also in the case of the teacher who wiped the wall with the shorty, just yoking him up enough, getting him off his feet and putting him out the classroom without slamming him is enough to let him know I screwed up. You know what I'm saying? Once you get hands on him and get him off his feet, trust me, they click in real quick. They click in before you get hands on them. Once you really assert yourself with them, they click in. Now, the ones who don't, you can tell it would have been more mouth with that. When I get up on them, you get a lot of, man, get up out of my face. You better get away. You get a lot of that. That's the one you wipe the wall with. But once you approach him and he kind of get meager, they go back to that sheet. It's okay. Look, I'm going to need you to get up out of here. There's a difference, and you can tell that, you know what I'm saying, in that. And from what I saw in the first video, Shorty wasn't bucking up no more. Like, he might have bucked up, but then once that man got close to him and got in that person's face, it looked like he realized, oh shit, okay. So, when I'm at the elementary school, I tell the kids, I'll fight you because we're the same size. So that's self-defense. Better calm down when them kids whoop you. I'm going to have to come down there.
Man.
I'm good for yoking a kid up. You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones who got a little size to them. But that comes from me being a man and me having sons and being around a couple of them, and also realizing that boys, when they get to a certain age, they have a fairy tale mindset about what they can do themselves physically. You know what I'm saying? So once they become a little more athletic, you know what I'm saying, can do about 10 push-ups, they believe that they're stronger than they actually are. How many fights have you had to be talking about what you ain't lost? And don't be counting your brother either, or your sister. Family fights don't count.
That's how I be feeling about Egypt. She real tough talking. I be like, have you ever had a fight before, Mel?
You know what I'm saying? Fights don't count. Fights with your family don't go on your record. That's not a win or a L. So just to let you know. But back to Carletta wanting to just beat up the kids. I ain't know Carletta was just violent with kids.
She don't have any. She prefaced it with that.
So she just out whooping random kids.
Hey, she ain't taking no disrespect from nobody.
Hey, I'm with that. No forms of disrespect will be tolerated. I let kids know that all the time. That's a conversation we have. I'm letting y'all know now. No forms of disrespect will be tolerated. I'm not gonna disrespect you, and you damn sure ain't gonna disrespect me. Never lost. You are correct.
Never lost.
Now, black mamas don't get their bluff in. What black mamas do is get them beatings in earlier, so that's in the back of your head. So you know this black mama I got is crazy, so I'm not going to even try it.
No, we get our bluff on early because my kids ain't got no whooping. But I bet you if you ask Tristan if I can whoop him, he going to say yeah. And he might be stronger than me at this point. He 20, about to be 21.
You think right now he going to say
that? Huh?
I don't think he's going to say that right now.
Nope.
Trust me, they've already said it. They've said it to their friends. My mama probably can beat you up.
Let's just talk.
He talking about his friends. I bet you if I asked him, if I asked him, Tristan, you think your mom could beat you up? He'd be like, what? What are you saying? That's my mom. Why would I? I would never fight my mom. What were you talking about? That's all evading the question, so he ain't got to say, man, I'll beat her ass. You know?
God, beat her ass.
You know?
Tell my smoke.
Look, Carletta talking about she'll fight kids. Look at this.
Carletta, I'm with you.
She had
I was that mama.
Today. If you notice, Carletta is usually, you know what I'm saying, black love, black unity. Let's teach the kids. Today, she trying to fight kids and everything. What's going on?
Carletta, I was definitely that mama. And the same with Egypt. Egypt was recently talking about some girls was following her. So I told Tristan girlfriend, hey, if I can't be there, I'm going to need you. You pick her up from school. You still little. I said, but I'm taking you to school tomorrow. And we go see.
They
But of
followed
course,
her?
they ain't say nothing to her, huh?
They followed her?
It was some little stupid stuff over a friend. You know, they were the friends of the girl who ain't even saying nothing to Egypt. So they was trying to intimidate Egypt. But Egypt ain't finna let nobody intimidate her. She's more like, you know me? We got a problem.
All right, we gotta get out of here.
Carletta might need some.
It look weird. We gotta go.
Get them before the white folks get them. Jesus, what are we turning to?
Yeah, I don't understand.
You don't understand that?
I understand all of it.
Oh.
I understand all of it. We're gonna get away from that conversation. Jay started.
How? How did I start this?
You started talking about the man wiping the wall with the shorty.
Man. Boy, yeah,
These kids are out of hand, and it starts at home. It starts at home.
It starts at home.
And then
in the house.
And it continues at school. And then they send them to me, and they disrespectful.
Next thing you know, they send them to you with their dicks out.
Yes.
Why they don't put you on the side with the women?
Because it's a lot of women that work in my job. We don't have a lot of women inmates. It's only one floor with women with two sides. So
you don't want to go over there and see all that coat nude out?
They don't be doing that.
Oh,
They
y'all
probably
don't play
stank
with
over
y'all.
there though.
No, they don't stand in no window playing with themselves. That's stupid.
How you know? You ain't over
Only dudes. I worked over there.
So what they do? They just lay on the tables and then
there. You
you
ain't
go in
never
there
They
seen
like,
don't
them
do
playing the
nothing.
guitar late at night.
First of all, the men don't come over there. So it's only women that work there.
It's
so
no
they all
men
laying
on
on
that
their
side.
back
On
with
that
their legs
side.
in the air.
Huh?
They all in the victory position.
They ain't in no positions. The women don't be doing that. It's y'all nasty dudes. They
So wait,
feel like I've been in jail for a long time. It's like, so what? So when you get out and go to Walmart and see somebody cute, you just gonna whip it out? Like, I just got out of jail.
That's his game. You know what I'm saying? Hey, baby, you ain't seen one like this.
you ain't seen this one.
Why she frowned up at us like we was the ones doing it?
Cause y'all sound like
wait.
that's what y'all would be doing if y'all was in there like shoes. I understand.
I mean, hey, Miss God. Hey, Miss God.
Let me show you something. You ain't seen no prison dick in about 15 minutes. Come here.
About 2 minutes. You ain't seen this in about 2 minutes. What's your name? I'm gonna write it on the window for you. Look at her show like that, boy. Look. She like,
Oh,
and he gonna
shit.
write my whole name the other day.
Hell no. This nigga say, yeah, slide it through the tray hole. My damn food. They got something for you.
Oh God.
I don't find none of this funny because you don't know what it feels like to not be able to turn this way. Somebody standing there with their dick in their hand, or
You ain't never
this
been in the
way,
male
somebody with their
stall?
dick
I mean,
in their
the
hand.
bathroom.
Huh?
Well, that bathroom like this, baby.
What bathroom?
I've been this close to a nigga with his dick
in a
out.
male bathroom in the men's room where you got to go in there like this.
I'm gonna tell you, don't let it be no old white man in there. No bullshit. I went to the movies like, oh, it's been a minute. It was a minute last time. It was an old man at the urinal with his pants all the way down.
All the way down.
Ass.
Like pants.
His
Standing up at the urinal. Should have smacked him on his ass. Bye.
Ain't that how you supposed to pee? Because
No.
if you just pee through the little zipper part, don't little droplets get on your pants?
What?
What?
What little pack of people you been dealing with?
I'm just
My
saying,
thing
it just
hangs.
seems like it should. Y'all really just unzip your pants and stick it through the zipper? Y'all really do that?
My thing hang. You know what I'm saying? I can clear my
Okay,
zipper.
I don't.
You supposed to
You dealing
shake
with people who
before you
can't
put
clear
it
the
back
zipper?
up. You gotta shake
I
it
don't
before
know.
you put it back
I
up.
don't know. I don't
Or
watch
you
people
shake it
pee.
more than 3 times, you playing with it. So you got to be real strategic with your shakes.
Yeah. And then the thing, you can't shake it too hard because it'll come up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you shake, it's gonna get all over your pants.
Nah.
It's gonna do that if your pants all the way down around your ankles.
Not if you in the urinal.
Then you wiping it on the back of the urinal. That's nasty.
Oh boy, don't go to the gym. You really gonna see a bunch of shit you don't want to see at the gym.
Man. And then I went to the bathroom the other day. Why this cat in there don't know the rules?
A grown man, a younger man, or an older man?
Old nigga. White cat, man.
Right stall right next to you.
He go in there. Me and him walking in together. Both of us got because you know how you got that walk. You know he go in and go right. It's 3 stalls. He go to the one
straight
right
to
in the middle.
He ain't want nobody next to him.
I'm standing behind this cat looking at it like I should piss on your back.
He ain't want nobody next to him.
Right. If you don't want nobody next to you, you go to the one on the end. You don't go in the middle.
I need all these.
I think he was hoping I got right next to him so he could talk to me or some shit. Sorry, Nicole. We know you don't understand this conversation. You be in there like feet on the toilet stool, right?
Mm-hmm.
She like, I woke up for this. Oh, okay. It's time for us to go. Whew. I had a nice laugh there. I appreciate you, Nicole. I appreciate you, my sister. Oh, so.
All right. Well,
like, love, share, subscribe.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow.
Do all that they said. We'll see y'all next week. Hey, remember, you know what I'm saying? If you see a black person, love on your black people, you know what I'm saying, y'all.
That is a fact.
Let's get it together. Please, let's get it together. More laughter in our lives. Less violence, please. Less violence.
That's violence. Right.
All right, out of here.